Well, another video on Assassins. Of course, this time it's not about the Dark Brotherhood and how much I despise them, but of course about Assassin's Creed 3. So, this is a interesting one. So, this game originally came out back in 2012 and was the third main installment of the Assassin's Creed series and focuses on a different character from what 2 and 1 focused on, and also kind of brought the series into a bit more of a modern age. Well, I mean, not exactly modern because this was about, this was about you know, about 300 something years ago, but a bit more modern than Renaissance Italy. So I'm not going to be going too far into the story, just giving my general thoughts on Assassin's Creed 3 and my history with the game. So I originally found out about this series back in, the early 2010s, although the first one I played was in 2014, and that was of course the one I'm reviewing now. Although at the time it wasn't a remaster, at least I don't think so. It was the original on the PlayStation 3, and I never got too far. In 2019, I ended up picking up a copy. Didn't get that far. It was until 2022 that I actually picked up this game and didn't really play it too much. Kinda surprised I didn't because I played Rogue the same year. But it wasn't until 2024 that I was able to complete Assassin's Creed 3 and kind of just gave up on the series again. Yeah, I've had a rocky history with this series, which is kind of unfortunate to think about. But of course, there's definitely not much I can do about that. So, yeah, so Assassin's Creed 3 was a bit divisive when it came out, and still, honestly, might be. I'm not really too involved in the fandom, but I honestly really did like this one. There were a few parts of it that I will admit I wasn't much of a fan of. I'm a little torn on the whole you're living for your ancestors' memory thing that they're doing. I know other games in the series kind of, if I recall correctly, have been taking that out, or it's not as much of the story as it was, but it's still kind of disappointing that it was like that. The modern parts of it, they're okay. Desmond is a bit of an interesting character. I have no complaints about his story, but what really made AC3, well, a enjoyable game was just being a cool assassin. I also like the story with this one. The game takes place during and before the Revolutionary War, which was a war that the colonies, well, the original 13 colonies had with Great Britain. It lasted quite some time and ended up resulting in the USA's independence from Great Britain. So it definitely caught my attention with that, as I'm a huge history buff. And I will generally say the gameplay for this one is pretty interesting. I really did enjoy this one, and I'm kind of sad that it took a long time just to really be able to appreciate this one. I haven't played too many of the other games yet. The only ones I've actively have completed are this one and Rogue. Although I have put some time into Black Flag, Origins, and Odyssey, and hope to complete those ones along with Unity. Although Unity itself is kind of so-so in my opinion. But I can see why people really did enjoy this one. And for those who are looking for something new to play, I definitely recommend this one. This one was a pretty enjoyable game, and I kind of would say this is one I would be play again. So, these are my thoughts on Assassin's Creed 3. So, stay tuned for the next video, and of course, until then, thank you for watching and have a wonderful night.